Phone right now, we have, I would say, Worcester's foremost chicken expert, Amanda Shearstone. And I only say that because she, for a while now, has been trying to get the city to allow people to have chickens legally on their property in the city limits. And Amanda, first of all, thank you for getting up early and talking to us this morning. Appreciate it.
Of course.
And your movement is called Chicken Up Worcester, just to reacquaint people. And what is your proposal? Because now there's a couple other proposals going before the city council about this.
Well, my original petition was just for the allowance of chickens in Worcester. We, started with saying, 6 hens or, maybe up to 12 in your backyard. I had proposed just, all single families. You could have chickens, in your front yard as long as you had so much frontage. Chickens in your backyard as long as there was space. And then I think we did do, where if you lived in a 2-family, but if you lived in a 3-family, I don't think that was an option that we put in there. But it was just kind of a mock ordinance anyway, but it's out there and it's still with the city hall, so we'll see where it goes.
Well, it's right now it's a very hot issue because of the price of eggs and the avian flu that's affecting the egg industry, the poultry industry. And now, how many chickens do you have? And go ahead. Oh, go ahead.
I have 5 chickens. I had, honestly, I had 15 at one point, but I am down to 5. I lost a few in November, nothing due with the avian bird flu. But I have 5. I'm still getting about 2 to 3 eggs a day, and I've had to ask people myself how much eggs have gone up because it is such a hot issue, and sometimes I don't even go over by the eggs to look at how much they are. So I've had chickens since 2020, and I haven't bought eggs for 5 years.
Wow, 5 years. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And we've had your chickens' eggs, and they are delightful. I have to say they're really great. Now, there's a lot of people thinking about, because of egg prices, raising chickens themselves. I wanted to ask you what that entails, because it's not just getting some chickens and having them in your yard. You have to provide all sorts of things, like first of all, shelter, right? You have to have some kind of chicken coop, right? And what does that entail, and how much would that cost?
It depends, one, how many chickens you want, but it is a financial, not burden to start it, but it does take, I think when we did ours, it was probably ended up being about $2,000 in the end. You can go online and see all sorts of little chicken coops and how much, square foot they need per bird. If you have 6 chickens, you should probably have, at least 2 nesting boxes. I have 4. They seem to nest in the same box anyway, but it is good for them to have options. But yeah, I tell people all the time, if you don't like to deal with poop, don't get chickens. They poop everywhere.
Right.
In the winter, if you don't have a water heater, you're changing the water at least 2 to 3 times a day because it will freeze. And even just when the chickens are little, they can, if they're stressed, they get pasty butts. So it's poop on their butt, and if you don't clean it, they'll go septic and they die. So it definitely is something that if you're going to get chickens, that you should look into. I've told people all the time, if that's what they're, wanting to do, if they need advice, let me know. People, if they have Facebook, can go on Chicken Up Worcester and they can look in there. There's another mass backyard chicken group that are great for, first timers, but definitely, do your research and make sure it's something that you want. They are pretty easy to raise, but they do, there is a lot of work to them.
And so with all the work and the cost, now you said you haven't bought eggs in 5 years. So
no, I haven't.
So let's say you have 6 chickens. Would it be worth it Like, would it pay itself off after a while?
Yeah, it takes a long time though,
Yeah.
depending on, what you do. Like a lot of people think, you need a coop and then you need a place for them to go in. We call it a run. And if you use chicken wire, that's fine. It keeps the chickens in, but it doesn't keep predators out.
Oh, right. There's that whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah, so you need hard wire cloth, and it's a little more expensive. And then like a lot of people dig it down at least, 12 inches, or I couldn't dig mine down, so we put it out, about 18 inches. So that when, I know that Mo Bergman is really worried about coyotes, but the thing is coyotes, if they can't get to the chickens, they won't stay around and try to eat them. They won't get to them. They move on. So as long as you have your, run predator proof, then you should be all set.
And just for reference, Mo Bergman is a Worcester City councilor, if people didn't know.
Yes.
Yeah. And then I'm thinking, well, there has to be medical costs too. I mean, do you have to if you keep chickens on your property, do they have vaccines for them? Is there regular veterinary care?
No, so you can get baby chicks vaccinated, or you can some places just don't vaccinate them at all. So I guess it depends where you get them. If you get them from a hatchery versus Tractor Supply, though I think, don't quote me on this, I think Tractor Supply does vaccinate for one, but I'm not sure. But I've never vaccinated any. I've had to kind of help one of them out, but I haven't had any veterinarian bills. Some people would. My chickens are definitely pets, but they're also chickens and they provide food. And sadly, they do die for no reason, and I have had that, but I've never brought my chicken to the vet. Some people do, though, which is totally fine also, but that is an extra cost, yes.
Yeah, I'm just thinking of, like, if you want to, start raising your own chickens, what the cost may be, and it can add up. I mean, you get the free eggs, but, a 508 texter asks, with the bird flu, do you have anything in your proposal? Like, who would these coops need to be inspected, and who would inspect these yard coops on a regular basis?
I don't have anything in my proposal about that. I'm sure the city would want to inspect them, maybe. If they did that, I would say you could do it on a bi-yearly, every other year type inspection. Or then the city would at least know who has birds and what's going on during all of this. I mean, like I said, I didn't have any suspicious birds die that I thought might have been the bird flu, and I have been keeping them in their pen. Sometimes I let them free range, in my backyard. I abut Hadwin Park, so it's all woods. But I've been keeping them in their pen just because I don't want them, kind of out. Right. And not that they would want to. It was too cold recently, but
yeah. And you were talking about space earlier. So say you wanted 6 hens. How much space would you need, or would your proposal say that you should have?
Offhand, I couldn't give you the exact amount, but online it will give you, you should have 2 square feet per bird, in their living area, and then you should have so much square feet in their run where they can, go out and be. I would have to get those exact, kind of measurements. I'm just throwing that out there, but the chickens are kind of like dogs, like they get bored. So I kind of move their run stuff around every now and then, and they seem okay, but they do get bored, and they do need space. Mm-hmm. So I thought it was 1.5 square feet per bird, but I'm not 100% sure on that.
Yeah, because I'm, not that I'm thinking about it, but I'm thinking of my yard. And it takes me like maybe 10 minutes to mow my yard because I live here in the city and there's, not a lot of space there. And I've heard from friends of mine who were like fire inspectors who go into people's homes and they actually have them indoors.
Oh, no, yeah.
That's not a good thing, right?
No, it's not at all. One, you wouldn't want them indoors anyway, just, for the amount of poop that they do, but just for sanitary reasons. We've had a couple hurt chickens and we've put them in our shed, but we don't, after they've, grown, if I've raised them inside as chicks, we put them outside and they don't ever come back in. You worry about salmonella, and every time, me and my daughter would go out and handle them, we would come in and make sure we washed our hands really well and kind of get that off of us. But there's still, you can keep them clean. Like, my birds look clean, but they're still dirty.
Right.
They're still, an outside animal, and they don't take baths like other animals. They take dust baths. So
right.
they're just all dust.
So for anybody that's thinking about getting into this, it is, like you said, it is a lot of work. There's a lot of things that go into it. There's a lot of moving parts, and there's apparently a lot of poop.
Yes.
So, do you use that poop? Is chicken poop used for fertilizer at all?
Yeah, it can be. It needs to be in the ground or, in whatever composting you're going to use for at least, I think, a year, just to make sure it's okay. But, yeah, it's actually really great fertilizer. Even I've known a lot of people, if they've had dead chickens, to dig up in their garden and put them in the garden, and it's a very good natural fertilizer.
Is there an alarm? Hold on a second. I think we have a fire alarm going here. This is obviously work of the anti-chicken up organization that doesn't want chickens. Is that a fire alarm, Josh? Oh, my gosh. We may have to evacuate here, Amanda. Well, listen. Well, I appreciate you getting up early and talking to us about this. That's Amanda Shearstone from Chicken Up Worcester. Search them out on Facebook. Go to their page. Like she said, if you have questions, feel free to message her there. She's been doing this since, you said, 2020, right? So a few years?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for your insights. We really appreciate that. And,
good luck.
Yeah, thank you. And good luck to Chicken Up Worcester. Now that there's a couple of proposals and this is a really hot issue, hopefully there'll be some kind of resolution to it too. But thank you very much, Amanda.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right. That's Amanda Shearstone from Chicken Up Worcester. And if you missed any of that, we'll have the interview posted up at pikefm.com. Let's see if we have to evacuate the building here.